welcome to a special off-season edition of CSBA Hoops Today. It's your boy Lion United, and I'm here to talk a little bit about the transfer portal that just went down this past week. This portal has many players and fans super excited to get the next season underway, and I'm here to go over all the details of what went down and even give an opinion on the top 5 teams that did the best thus far in the transfer portal. Now, this is an early edition, so it may not include all transfers based on the time of this video, but a good majority of players have already been decided. So without further ado, let's get right into it and start off with the top 5 teams that did the best in this year's transfer portal. Now, like I said, this is an early edition of transfer rankings, so keep that in mind. But here are your top 5 team transfer rankings. We will break down each team in this video, but at number 1, you have the Duke Blue Devils. Number 2, the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Number 3, the Memphis Tigers. 4, the Tennessee Volunteers. And at number 5, the Providence Friars. We will take a look at all 5 of these teams and all other teams who received transfers, but let's start with the Duke Blue Devils. As you can see, Duke received 6 transfers thus far, with the majority being from Texas Tech. You have Antonio Fernando, Boris Pavlov, Joffrey Keita, Jim Bob Jr., and Fu Yong from the Red Raiders, and you also have Blackman returning from last year. Texas Tech was one of the top teams last year, and the Blue Devils have brought in a ton of talent that should help them compete for a title this year. Up next, let's take a look at the Bulldogs of Gonzaga. Gonzaga also brings in 6 of their own players from well-known schools, starting with Keith Times from Georgia Tech, 3 players from Michigan who made a run in the tournament with De La Soul, Kingston Ali, and Slorms McKenzie, and then 2 studs from Texas Tech in Malcolm Streets and Sam Dobbins. Gonzaga will surely look to continue their winning ways in Season 13 with these players. And now on to the Memphis Tigers. Memphis is one of the new schools in the CSBA, and they are looking to make a name for themselves early with some top gets in this year's portal. They started off with OG Kush from Arizona State, and then followed it up with Jalen Tyree from Georgia Tech and Cornelius Massey from an excellent Kansas squad. San Diego State's Tyshawn Robinson also signed the dotted line, along with Brandon Powers from UCLA and a stud in Colton Powell from Washington. Memphis is new to the scene of the CSBA in Season 13, but I expect them to turn some heads right away moving forward. And now let's take a look at a surprising Tennessee Volunteers team. Tennessee went out and made some major moves in this year's portal. They signed 4 excellent players in Austin Sanders from Gonzaga, Will Stevens from Indiana, and 2 players from UCLA in Demo and Corey Edwards. Tennessee didn't have the best year last year, but I expect them to continue to get better with these huge signings. And now to round out the top 5 is the Providence Friars. Providence has only grabbed 3 transfers, but they are key pieces to their future. They signed J.J. Song from Texas Tech and grabbed 2 of Washington's best players in Sage Sarmiento and Dakota Glover. I expect big things from the Friars this year. Now let's talk about another new squad in the CSBA universe for Season 13 in the Florida Gators. The Gators didn't have a lot of huge signings so far this offseason, but they got key role players for their squad at the very least. They grabbed Homer Jackson from Duke, Maximus Tallwood from a solid Houston team, and Joseph Emily from Washington. I'll be keeping a close eye on Florida to see how they do in year 1. Up next, we have the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia only has 1 signing so far, but it's a big one. The Bulldogs signed Just Blaze from UCLA, who will be a key cog to their team this year, and I'm certainly interested to see how well Georgia does in Season 13. The Blue Blood Kentucky Wildcats haven't made a huge splash thus far in the offseason. They only have 1 signing in Andre Romano from Ohio, so it will certainly be interesting to see how far the Wildcats can make it this year. The Jayhawks of Kansas had a great year last year, and they've certainly made their presence known in this transfer portal. Only 3 signings, but all 3 are sure to play major roles this year in Titus Anthony from Arizona State, Biff Markham from the champion Oregon Ducks, and Dallas Walker from Wichita State. I expect the Jayhawks to be a top team again this year and love the class they are putting together thus far. Michigan is another team who was not shy in the portal, grabbing 5 players thus far. After a surprising run in the tournament, they were able to sign Frederick Kaiser from Arizona State, Joe B. from Georgia Tech, Clyde McNasty from Kansas, Max Mudshovel from Murray State, and last but certainly not least, Nowhere from Washington. I expect the Wolverines to be a very competitive and fun team to watch this year. Another fresh team is the Missouri Tigers, who made some solid signings in the portal, starting with Micah Brewer from Houston and two players from Murray State in Dexter Franklin and Jared Solis. Missouri is just one of the many new teams this year who will be looking to make an early name for themselves here in the CSBA in season 13. Oklahoma has been somewhat quiet here in the portal so far, with only one signing in Max Archer, but will bring that championship pedigree coming from Oregon. I'll be interested to see if the Sooners can make any more big splashes here before the regular season. USF is another new squad on the scene and has only signed Ryland Bean from Murray State thus far. I would expect them to have a couple more big signings before it's all said and done because who wouldn't want to play in sunshiny Florida? One of the best teams in the CSBA last season in St. John's made only two signings so far, but they are both very impressive in Billy Hoyle from Villanova and DeAndre Berner from Oregon. I would expect St. John's to be right back in the title picture here for season 13 and continue their winning ways. The Longhorns have only brought in three players to this point, but what a haul they brought in with Theo Marcos from Duke, Robert Green from Michigan, and Anthony Stover from UCLA. I expect big things from the Longhorns this year, just like the big splash they made in the portal here thus far. The Tar Heels have a very nice, well-rounded roster of transfers this offseason, with Noah Johnson from Duke, Woody Wood from Kansas, Inda Paint from Kentucky, Seth Starr from Notre Dame, and Parker Knight from Oregon. I would love to see North Carolina make a run in season 13 and make some noise. UNLV may have only signed two players thus far, but they are big-time studs in Chipper Stones from Arizona State and Jake Gates from the champion Ducks. The Runnin' Rebels started off very slow last season, but I would love to see them come out red hot and turn some heads here in season 13. I'm curious to see what else Vanderbilt may have up their sleeves, as I was expecting a couple more signings to this point, but their one is one of the best small forwards in Daniel Gunn from Duke. Let's wait and see if the Commodores can make any more noise here this offseason. Another team with only one signing is Virginia Tech, but did they ever make a big splash with it by signing Uncle Swoosh from St. John's? I expect Swoosh to make an immediate impact and lead the Hokies to some victories here in season 13. Washington State coming onto the scene has two transfer pickups in BJ Shark Jr. from Murray State and Tajay Robinson from Washington. I know the Cougars would love to be competitive right away here in the CSBA, but only time will tell if these signings pay off or not. And last but certainly not least, we have Wichita State coming through with only one signing in Tommy Berard from Oregon. The Shockers had a great year last year, and let's see if they can build on it with Berard now on the squad. And that'll do it, folks, for our special off-season edition of CSBA Hoops Today. I hope you all enjoyed the video and got to see where some of the top players in the CSBA took their talents to help bring their team a championship. I would love to hear from the community and hear their thoughts on which teams did the best or worst and how this will help shape things for season 13. I hope everyone is as excited as I am for this upcoming season, and as always, make sure to like and comment the video and be sure to subscribe to the channel. The offseason is almost over and CSBA is right around the corner for a special season 13. I'm Lion United and I hope to see you all soon. Peace.